Can you hear me? Seriously have to add YouTube first. So can you hear me? Or is there no sound? No echo and good sound. Thank God for that. Okay, I'm waiting to connect YouTube. We'll see. As soon as they're connected, we'll start. I'm trying to get a wrap on this app. I'm wanting to add new things, obviously. So I'm going to trial something. And I've had a bit of meditation. I'm going to try and see if I can get YouTube connected. I'm unsure if it's connected. It should be. Anyone on YouTube watching? Not that I can actually check. Is it working on YouTube, Shelley? Or am I away with fairies today? Potentially there could be YouTube streaming, but perhaps the text is not. It's bright enough. I don't know. I just don't know. It's a bit delayed. It may be due to the fact that I have other windows directly behind, so I will close those. Bear with me. Is it working a bit better now? I have no idea if I'm streaming to YouTube. Am I streaming to YouTube, Shelley, or is it away with the fairies? Because nobody has commented in the section. And if it's not, I'm just going to, leave it, and I'll probably go back to the other. Till I can do it correctly. We can deem this as a test at this point, and I'll always log off and log back on again. It is working on YouTube. I don't know why it does that. Maybe I will disconnect the chat viewer and reconnect. Otherwise, we're just not going to see YouTube on there. And I'll add again, and we'll see if it works. Oh, the Barracuda joy. Good enough. Let's see if we can connect it again. We have watching. Okay, so what I'm basically wanting to do with all the lemon delay is providing it's streaming correctly. I'll see how it goes, and I'm going to pull some cards for today. Now, hopefully, if I can get this app working correctly, I want to do daily reads so that we can have a check-in with the energy. Now, I thought about it, and I'm still going to do the general with the, hi Leslie, I'm still going to do the general and the twin flame reads, but I might change things around a bit and do daily reads. And I do think some of us are really to the point where we're saying, hey, what's happening today? What's going on? Obviously, with the Twin Flame Collective, I will do energy updates about that. That's very separate. And I'll also do the astrological aspects from a psychic point of view. But I was really tuning into maybe what's going to work better for those of us in the collective, of looking into what's happening with us each day. And I also remember back to actually being a viewer of YouTube, and, I was always seeking a bit of guidance on what actually was going on the day-to-day basis. So I think some of it we're actually missing the point, and we do need to actually have a look at the overall energy. And that can be both, with what's happening in our general life of the daily frequency, as well as what's happening with, what's happening in our finances, what's happening with our family. So obviously it won't be as unorganised, but I do feel it's relevant right now to have a check-in with this energy. And then I'll pick up on the masculine and feminine frequencies of what's going on the date, and that can be for you as a female or a male, or directly connected to your spiritual path. So I'll tune into it in that shape. Okay, a lot of you at the moment are needing to, some of you are really on the fence when it comes to your employment, okay? So it can be you're really having to use your intuition. It can be that your thoughts aren't very clear at the moment. You're reaping what you sow, and you intuitively know how something's going to go. This is for higher frequency or lower. So it can be that you're investing in a situation, be it education, employment, something directly at a 3D level that you're working on, but you're having to use your intuition, and you psychically know, you can't make this up, you psychically know that something is changing in that domain, or something has to shift. So today you're very intuitive about being aware of that frequency and knowing something's got to change. You also think you're going down a particular road, but that can be changing too. So it can be to a point where you're thinking, okay, the outcome of what I'm working towards, what I'm trying to achieve in my employment or something at a 3D level that you're working on is going to go a particular way. Now, what's really relevant is the fact that at the moment, nothing's certain, and that's due to Mercury retrograde. Obviously, on the 20th, things are going to change. So we can be up in the air about, are we really invested in this? Do we really want it? And do we think it's going to come about? I mean, it could be that you're training to go towards something, and then all of a sudden you might fall pregnant or something to that degree. So we can never really be completely certain about how life's coming. But it's the pain body experience that actually gets us to a place where we potentially can get quite scared and say, hey, everything's remaining the same, nothing's changing. It is a very heavy frequency, of us really having that uncertainty about how life is going to be. So it's really about you trying to stay as grounded as possible through that process. Now, when it comes to finances and anything you're emotionally investing in, some of you are feeling emotionally bankrupt. Some of you are feeling as though, am I up shit creek without a paddle? Okay? Now, it's fair-based frequencies again. It's a daily energy read. So, it might be meditating upon some 3D situations and wondering how you're going to do something financially, wondering how you're going to bring things about. No, I can't see YouTube chat, so I don't know why, but, such is life. I don't know why. Let me see. I don't know why it's doing that. Effects, layout, color. This happened last time. Can YouTube see me? Oh, the joy. This is what happens during Mercury retrograde. There we go. We're back. Okay, I can see you. I'm glad you can see me because, it would be really nice if Mercury would just work with Librans right now. because Mercury is actually in the house of employment, ironically enough. Back to the read. Okay, so in your financial sector, a lot of fear-based frequencies coming up, almost to the point where you're looking at it thinking, God, am I going to be left out in the cold? Have I invested correctly? You're not feeling as grounded. Financially speaking, there's too many ways life can come about at the moment. So you can be looking at it going, there's nothing certain. And again, it's a number 5, which can mean change, very much anxious energy, not even being able to perceive some of these things that are coming. So it can be making you feel very anxious and, trying to move forward, but really not knowing how that's going to be. Wondering if even if you put all the steps in place at a financial level or an emotional level, whether there's going to be an outcome at the end of the day. Try not to stress too much. It's temporary frequency. Things are changing. Mercury's doing this to us. So it's like the unforeseen, the uncertainty. This is a very much a karmic frequency that's coming through with us at the moment. So it's very normal that these things are coming up. In your family domain, it's interesting what's coming through. There can be talk directly connected to you and your counterpart, or you and a love interest, or there could be a romantic connection coming through. For those of you who are single, some of you may meet someone directly through family. Others of you, it may be you are taking your spiritual connection to meet with family, and there's a merging of family and, groups coming together. And this can, it's the 19th moment in Perth, WA, so really moving forward, this frequency for everyone collectively can be moving into the new moon energy, can really be emerging where with the nodes in Cancer and Capricorn, you're starting to come together in some shape or form. But you're also cautious about it. Really use your consciousness when it comes to it. It may be you're thinking of, do you move closer to family or don't you? Do you stay with family or don't you? You've got a way you're looking at your life and you're wondering how it's going to be. Hi, Carmen. You're also not wanting it to affect your family or your health. So you're going, what do I do? Caught in between a rock and a hard place. Some of this, if you're dealing with karmics, is caught in between a rock and a hard place. What do? Do you hold the lantern and be in the hermit mode? And it can be potentially at the moment things are up in the air in that domain. So it's hard to actually make a definite decision. How other people around you might be very manipulative and pushy, and it can be lower frequency people coming towards you. And this is everyone collectively. So people can really be ticking you off and you're actually sensing these things even before they're happening. So if energetically you guys are having this intuition that something's coming and you're like, I can feel Penny Little, the sky is falling down, song synchronicities. Yes, in fact, follow your intuition, okay? You know that it's toxic. Let karmics do their work. Okay, step back. Let people who are triggering you actually do the work themselves and try not to bite. Very hard, but try not to bite. Let them do what they need to do. It can be conflict coming about that you intuitively know is coming, especially moving into the moon frequency. What you're not seeing. There is a delay on a leap of faith. This is the download I'm getting. Obviously, being a psychic medium, the way I interpret cards and the energy and the vision I'm getting is always going to be very different. Any foolish frequencies is actually going to go in your favour. It's not going to your detriment. And I don't feel this is on your side of the fence. I feel this is external situations. Some of you are looking at your given 3D life right now. See, you're not seeing it because this is in the unseen position. So this is something you didn't see coming. A lot of what's happening around you at the moment is what you didn't see coming. A lot of it also is to the point where potentially things might turn out a lot different and there's things coming at left field. But it's other people's energies. It's not yours. So try and pause so that things can flow correctly. And I'm looking up to the news feed, to the feed. I'm hoping it's moving okay. I'm trying to get used to this. Okay, at the moment, masculine frequencies are coming through and they're needing to make a judgment. They're not quite sure how this is going to be. They have a lot of chemistry. Okay, so there is an interest and a desire with something in their life as well as in their heart directly connected to a soul connection. They're trying to be fair and they're trying to be just. They don't want to make any rash decisions and they're really following their intuition. They're wanting to make calculated decisions, but not from a toxic point of view, from an intellectual point of view, to not harm situations, to not make this rock the boat. So male energies in general are really going to be using their intuition. They're going to be making very just, balanced decisions when it comes to the way they're moving forward today. But they also knew this was coming. So again, I feel this is something they've taken steps, and they're directly taking steps to move forward. They're just not quite sure when it's going to come, but they know certain 360s are coming. They're being super private about this, and they're holding their cards close to their chest. I do feel there is an openness connected to a spiritual connection. So I don't feel this is in relation to you. I feel this is directly connected to external people. They're following their gut. They're manifesting things in for this to move forward. They're not wanting there to be any unnecessary issues. They're not happy about this delay, but they're doing it for the betterment of the situation, if that makes sense. I'm going to try and change the size there. Okay, feminine energies today. What do we see coming through for you guys? Okay, you guys are really trying to work as a team. You're not their enemy. You're trying to work as a team, but there could be a lot of BS coming towards you. There could be a lot of frequency coming towards you, and it's really arduous at the moment. You're keeping your eye on the goal. You really want this connection to come full 360. You know the bigger picture, but, you know, obviously when these frequencies are coming towards us, you're going to have to stay as grounded as possible. You may feel energetically the way a person you're in love with or your counterpart is dealing with you is that perhaps they're not energetically connected. But it can be a very detached energy at the moment, which, you know, I did a reading this morning and I found it quite amusing because a lot of masculines at the moment are on mission mode, as you can see to the left. They're putting things to the left. I mean, that Beyonce song to the left. But this is not in relation to you. This is towards toxicity, anything they need to clear up in a sense of karmic endings. The cycle we're moving through, predominantly from January with the total eclipse, even moving forward into April with the planets going retrograde, when you look at it, you've got Pluto, which is about birth, regeneration, you know, death, the endings, new beginnings. Saturn as well, accountability, but similar to that, frequency, tower moments, and Jupiter, inability to expand and where it's hindered. Now, that transition, obviously the planets are taking different time frames for their retrograde and directly going retrograde at different intervals whilst Mercury's going direct. It's a time to assess your spiritual path, okay? That can be your twin flame connection, your divine path in life, and what we want to do. So along with the total eclipse that we had in January, it's really correlating with that frequency where we're looking at it going, okay, this is a dummy run, okay? This is where we've been to the army, we've had our training from 2016 through to 2018. We're directly applying our energy now, which means we're moving forward. So we're in the test phase. We're in the assessment phase. So try not to get paranoid. You may be thinking I'm not buying what you're selling in certain areas, but hey, at the moment, Mercury retrograde is a little bit like Venus retrograde, except there's too many variables of how things can go. What can go the distance, what can't. That's really what comes up with Mercury retrograde. What's the extended version of what we need to do and the work we need to put in? Some of it isn't your side of the fence, so there's nothing you can do. Some of it you might be really having to change things around. We're also, I feel energetically, feeling the energy of Saturn already going retrograde. There's this vibration I'm getting. Follow your intuition. You know how things are going to come about. So I'm picking this card more as an energy of you knowing people at a lower frequency aren't committed to doing the work and you are. So that's going to be your saving grace because you have that frequency. Try not to get triggered by anything you're seeing, at the moment. Some of you are wondering how certain connections are going to come about, and I feel this is external. I feel you might be looking at it going, I don't quite know how this is going to go. How am I going to bring this big apple pie together? Hi, Donna. But you're holding your ground, you know, you're trying to stay grounded. You're trying to come from a higher consciousness and you're trying not to be triggered. You internally maybe, but you're looking at it like essentially from an adult point of view and you're taking direct responsibility. Any questions while I'm here? If you want to book a reading, I hope there was no lagging. Otherwise, I'll go back to utilising this very separately and just doing 2 tune-ins until I can get this correct. Has this been helpful? This will be an ongoing thing if it's popular, where there will be a daily check-in. Is this something we would like? It's funny looking at YouTube and Facebook at the same time. Hello, Antonella. Hello, Leslie. Hello, Giggle. Laurie. Hi, Christine. How are you, doll? Yes. Most welcome. Well, enjoy your day. Try to keep as grounded as possible. There is movement. If you're looking at a male energy or your twin flame, it's because they've got tunnel vision and they're trying to get things sorted. It can look quite detached. Good. I'm glad there is. They can look quite detached. Try not to... Look, you've got responsibility card. You understand and have compassion towards what your commitments are, what other people's commitments are around you. You're trying to not get emotional about it, but that can even be you energetically not getting attached. Okay, so by you maybe energetically feeling, oh, I want to retreat, you know, maybe you guys are scared of commitment. You're going, I'm feeling some sort of way because this person isn't looking like they're on my side of the fence. They are. They're just dealing with some 3D situations. They've got tunnel vision and they're in a bloody hurry. I'm telling you that now. They are in a freaking hurry. They're like, I'm getting this done. They're wearing themselves out though, so try and white light yourself and your energy. Click the like button and share if you wish this to be an ongoing thing, and I will see you on the other side. If I can turn this off. Now we have to get to the point where we can actually turn it off, which would be like very helpful. That's okay, Andrew.